Cougar. All right, star 7.
There's a second champion on Jim Grote's staff, self-starter Patty Shields. She's been blazing trails ever since the day she walked into Southern as a customer 3 years ago.
This is the introduction to our service department. It tells our phone number, who to talk to when you come in, when we're open, what to do for clothes, and if you've got a problem, exactly who you'd be dealing with.
We were impressed with Patty's bubbly personality and what we felt was her automobile sales potential. She must have been impressed with us because she bought a Cougar from us. But more importantly, it took several months of talking to her, but eventually we convinced her that she should join us as our first female sales representative. Eric Fort and I decided that we needed an ESP sales representative, and Patty seemed to be a natural for this. She just kind of, with her bubbly personality, she just blossomed, and she's just doubled her dollar production. She's taken our ESP sales from a low of 30% penetration to a high of 80%. Patty's certainly a team player, and she's helped us in many, many areas.
Standpoint, if you have a major repair, it's a lot easier to come up with the $25 than it is $1,300, for example.
I am the warranty and service coordinator. I talk to each and every person who buys a car from us. I explain the warranties that they have on the car, and then I also explain to them how they can upgrade their protection and buy an extended service plan. It's a lot better me coming in after they are already in the mood, shaking their head, yes, up and down, because they've just invested $16,000 into a car. So their head's going up and down. And while their head is going up and down, I just come right on over, and their head still goes up and down. And we just sign them right on up.
Patty's vibrant personality is what Jim Grote believes makes her so effective.
And it's been a pleasure meeting you, and congratulations on your Cougar. Bye-bye. I like that car.
She has provided a soft touch, a ray of sunshine, an ability to make the customers feel even more at ease after the sale. Our job is to make them feel at home, make them feel at ease and comfortable to buy a car. Well, Patty's contribution to making them feel at home and comfortable is significant.
First of all, I absolutely positively love my job, and I have made myself an expert in every different area that I can concerning the extended service plans. And whenever I go in and talk to a customer, I try to let them know that I know the business that I'm talking about. And therefore, it gives them the feeling of comfort that I am an authority on this. And my job, there's so many different things that I do around here. Every day is something totally different.
How are you doing today? Just fine. I understand that you had your Cougar into our service department last week.
I also am the representative from the service department, and we call our customers after they brought the car into service to make sure that they've been greeted in a prompt and courteous manner, but most importantly that we get the problems corrected to their satisfaction.
Okay.
I'm also assistant business manager, which means that I do all the contracting out of all cars whenever the regular business manager is not here. I also know how to check in the new cars that come off the truck and do all the paperwork and the procedures behind that. If I go over to the service department and I find out that they're busy, or I see that they're lined up, if the phone's ringing, I'll grab the phone and see if I can help the customers. Or if need be, I've run into customers that I know or people who are waiting and offered to buy them a cup of coffee or a Coke, just to kind of settle them down a little bit.
After a busy week, Patty enjoys her quiet time. Living at her condo complex a mile from the dealership, Sunday means time to relax. A Tennessee native far from home, she thinks of Southern as much more than just her employer.
And I moved down here and bought a car here. And it was the only place I went to that treated me as an individual and as a person, and worked with me on the deal itself. I love this dealership. Once I leave Southern Lincoln Mercury, I have left the car business. And that's basically how I feel, because this is my family away from my family. And these people are very important to me.
Randolph Air Force Base, Taj Mahal to the thousands of men and women stationed here. It's the kind of place most car salesmen would never visit to prospect for customers. But Joe Fontineau, Master Sergeant, United States Air Force retired, isn't your ordinary car salesman. Joe spent a good share of his 23-year military career at this base, the headquarters for the Air Force training and recruitment programs. Joe likes to be seen around the base. That includes recruiting service headquarters. It's the place where he received his first sales experience. He was an outstanding recruiter, a success he's repeated since, selling appliances and now selling cars.
For sure, you know, selling automobiles is easier than selling the guys on 4 years of the Air Force, because when you sell a guy a car, you know, you can show him, he can feel the automobile, and you can show him what he's buying, you know.
Joe's home isn't the U.S. Air Force anymore. It's North Park Lincoln Mercury Mercurys in San Antonio. North Park is among the top volume dealerships in the country. And its owner, Clarence Kalig, says Joe has been an important part of the dealership's success since coming on board in 1979.
Joe joined our staff in 1979. He was our customer. He'd bought several Lincoln Mercury products from us. Always had a very pleasing personality. And he's had an outstanding record since he's come with us. He's always been in the top 3 of our producers since 1979. And he's averaged about 29 cars a month. We have many good salesmen at North Park. In 1984, Joe was our top salesman. He has always been a top producer. Last year, North Park sold in excess of 4,200 units. He makes the customer feel real good. He makes a friend out of them, and he's contributed a lot to our success.
Computer business. After, well, I was in the Air Force. I put in 20 years, and I got out, and then I went in the computer business about 9 years, and well, here I am.
Well, that's great. You know, I retired in the Air Force. I retired in 1976.
Is that right?
Yeah, I put 23 years in the Air Force.
Great.
And I retired here at Randolph Field.
Is that right?
Well, that's great. How do you like your little Lynx?
Fine little car. It really is.
Well, I think the number one thing that I've got going for me and what I work on daily is to try to gain the confidence of the individual when he comes off to purchase a car from me. You do a little visiting, you know. You don't just go right into the sales pitch that you can buy a car for a certain amount of money. You try to visit with the individual. You try to find something out about him. And that's what it's all about, and I work on that real hard. To be successful in this business, you have to do something out of the ordinary. You just can't be just a regular salesman. You've got to work real hard to keep your customers. You've got to do whatever you have to do, you know, and you've got to be real concerned about your customers. You have to make them feel like you're real concerned about them. And you have to stay in touch with them time after time, write letters, make phone calls, but you've definitely got to stay in touch with them. If you don't, you'll lose them. I try to put in more hours than the average salesman. I try to do things that they don't do. It's little extra things like for my customers. I think these are the things that have made me successful. I want to be the first guy out there on the service drive to assist my customer when they come in, especially females. And on the glove box, it's just a latch. It's not catching. She has to slam it maybe 3 times. I want to talk to that service rider. I want to make sure that the work is being done right. I'm going to monitor the job when it's here in the shop, and I'm going to call them at work. A lot of the guys don't do that. I'll check and find out what time it's going to be ready, and I try to be the guy to call them. I want to call them before the service rider, because you'll never lose that customer. When they get ready to buy the next car, they're going to go to Joe Fontineau, because they didn't get that kind of service at the Buick dealership. I can get the car out of the service department and bring it up front here for you, and you can just come in and see me and pick up the car. And I'll be here until 8:30, so it won't be any problem. And,
Joe's approach to serving customers is considered one of his most valuable qualities. North Park General Manager, Merle Gothard.
One thing we don't do is rate our salesmen strictly by the number of units they sell. What's very important to us is their ability to generate and create repeat business. Nobody does that better than Joe Fontineau. Joe has the attitude when he sells a customer a car, he doesn't want to sell them just that car. He wants to sell them every car they ever own from now on. And he will work harder than anyone that I've met, and the majority of our salesmen, to assure that happens.
And I want to make sure that you get your seatbelt on.
Joe not only works hard for repeat business, he aggressively markets himself to attract new customers. This sign at a local golf course gets good results.
Well, this is a tough business, especially for a new salesperson competing for that new customer. He has to do something unusual. He can't just do what the average salesperson do if he's going to get that customer to come in and ask for it. In my case, I try to make the most of my military background. I advertise in the Armed Forces Directory, in magazines, and in local community publications. I also play a lot of golf. I meet a lot of people out on the golf course. I have a scorecard that I use at one of the bases with my advertisement on it. I have golf balls that I give my customers that play golf. And in this business, I find you have to spend a little money to make money.
Joe loves golf, and he's an excellent amateur. He gets the practice. He and his wife, Grace, live right on one of San Antonio's nicest courses. They've raised 5 children, including a son, soon to be a doctor, and a daughter who is an attorney. Both still work hard, but now there are big rewards.
To be able to come home and change clothes and go in the garage and jump on my golf cart and go out and play golf. And all these things kind of come together, you know, when the guys say, well, what is it that makes you go work at 7:30 in the morning and stay at 7:30 in the evening? Well, this is what it's all about.
All right.
Just like his pursuit of perfect form in golf, Joe strives for perfection at all times in his sales methods. North Park's veteran salesman and sales trainer, Bobby Rogers.
Every salesperson that starts work with North Park Lincoln Mercury is required to go through a basic selling course, which consists of greeting the customer, qualifying, demonstration ride, and the final close. Joe follows the steps quite well. He's consistent, energetic, positive attitude. Customers appreciate him.
The desire to be the best and the willingness to work hard are the qualities which Joe believes makes him successful.
And when you put the key in, you don't go to the right, you go to the left. And you get the opening of the bottom part here where it'll be very convenient. Then you can slide your clubs in, maybe 1 set or 2 sets or whatever.
There's enough room there for the 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good. And I think you like that feature. Now, one other little thing, if you got something that you don't want to keep exposed out to the public, you can just put it in there, small item, put it right here, you can lock this.
I remember in the military where you was on duty for 24 hours around the clock. You got the same pay. Well, here in selling, in the automobile business, the harder you work, the more cars you sell, the more money you make. And I think the key to my whole success here at North Park is it's really putting everything together and really working hard.
Champions. Lincoln Mercury Mercurys champions. All people who give their best every day. People with enthusiasm and pride. We can only show the highlights of outstanding performance. A detailed look at sales techniques of, say, an Al Crane would take hours. What we've tried to show in Al's case is the importance of a strong desire to succeed, to be the best. The great strength of Ron Slayton is his unquenchable need to pursue new goals, to seek new challenges. With Patty Shields, we see championship in her team spirit, her effort to help the whole dealership. And in Joe Fontineau, there is a strong commitment to serve the customer and, as a result, keep the customer. These are some of the qualities of world-class retail performance. They're examples we can all follow. The future of Lincoln Mercury Mercure depends upon the strength of its people. It depends upon you to take and use the techniques, the attitudes you've seen today, and add some of your own special qualities. It depends on you to be a champion.